Macmillan Audio presents The Breakthrough Years, a new scientific framework for raising thriving teens. Written by Ellen Galinsky. Read for you by Cassandra Campbell and Ellen Galinsky. Please note that this book will have an accompanying bonus PDF.
To my grandsons, as you grew out of adolescence, Antonio, you worked with me on the earliest stages of this book. As you grew into adolescence, say, this book is for you, and for adolescents everywhere. With thanks to Brandon Olney, you've been with me every step of the way. Introduction. Just wait. I remember holding my newborn son in a rocking chair when he came home from the hospital. A friend who had come over to welcome him to the world was the first to say this to me, soon after admiring him. Just wait until he's a teenager. As a new parent, like any new parent, there were times when I was frantic with worry, especially because my son was born prematurely. What if he wasn't going to be healthy and strong? What if he wasn't going to develop like other children? Now there was a just wait decree looming over our futures like a jail sentence. This just wait warning was repeated again and again. It seemed as if any time I felt the wonder or the pressures of parenting, exulted in my son, or struggled with parenting him, others felt that they should warn me about this tumultuous future in store. Just wait until he's a teenager. Well-meaning friends and strangers did the same with my daughter a few years later. At key moments, such as when she pulled herself up on her feet and launched herself out into the world with her first tottering steps, or when she was a defiant preschooler, I'd hear, just wait until she's a teenager. See what trouble she walks into then. Storm and stress. More than 100 years ago, there was no such thing as adolescence as we now know it. For example, many of my relatives in the 19th century went straight from childhood into assuming the responsibilities of adulthood. By the turn of the 20th century, that had changed. Most of my relatives didn't take jobs in their teens. They stayed in school longer and entered the workforce later. During that time, the idea of adolescence as a distinct period of life began to take a stronger hold. And in 1904, the scientific study of adolescence was born with the publication of a 2-volume work by G. Stanley Hall. Its focus was on storm and stress. The theme of turbulence, the first formal attempt to understand this unique period of life, has continued to permeate popular perception. Thus, those just wait warnings we've heard for so long. By the turn of the 21st century, researchers' focus began to shift away from the perils and toward the promise of adolescence, especially as the tools of science became more precise and as the positive youth development movement spread. The promise of adolescence. We now know that adolescence is a sensitive period in brain development, almost as important as the foundational early years. Though the span of years covered by adolescence differs in different parts of the world, its beginning is usually marked by puberty, and its ending by the assumption of adult responsibilities, which is in the mid-20s in the United States. Adolescents, so defined, make up almost 1/4 of the U.S. population. During adolescence, there's a heightened brain plasticity with extensive neural change. Like the early years, adolescence is a time when we're specially affected by the environments we're in. Decades of research also reveal that there are a set of core attention regulation skills, called executive function skills, that are often more important to our school and our lifetime success than our IQ or socioeconomic status. These skills emerge during early childhood, and that's when they should be first promoted. The subject of my last book, Mind in the Making, the 7 essential skills every child needs. But we can't stop there. Like the early years, adolescence is a prime time for learning executive function skills. The superhighways of the brain are under construction during adolescence. The prefrontal regions central to executive function develop significantly. There's also
Sample complete. Ready to continue?